Now we're just 2.5 weeks until the start of the Premier League season. The transfer window is in full flow, isn't it, James Savundra? I'm pleased you're joining me to discuss all the latest news. And I mean, what huge news to start with. Granit Xhaka on his way to Sunderland.
Very eye-catching, this deal, isn't it? Sunderland have really pushed, and they've got their man. We understand the fee is 13 million plus £4 million in add-ons, a significant fee, you'd say, for a 32-year-old who's also going to sign a 3-year contract. Sunderland confirming that deal and that fee with Bayer Leverkusen today. Now, Sunderland upped their total offer by £7 million to get this deal done. They really wanted to bring in Granit Xhaka, all that experience to get them into the Premier League and keep them in the Premier League. They're there now, but it's been a long time away. They need to stay there, and someone like Xhaka can really help them. What is fascinating about this is he left Arsenal 2 years ago. He had a really successful spell there, wanted to head to Bayer Leverkusen, had 2 really successful seasons there. Erik ten Hag, now the manager at Bayer Leverkusen. A really interesting quote from him during pre-season, because he said that we've already lost 3 very important players. We know some of those in the Premier League already. We won't let any more go. So we wait to see how happy Erik ten Hag feels about this, losing a key player just on the eve of the new season. But for Sunderland, this is a great bit of business, albeit an expensive deal they've done. But I think they'll feel vindicated if they remain a Premier League club, if Granit Xhaka plays a role in keeping them there.
Yeah, they need that experience in the midfield. What a remarkable deal. Again, surprising considering Ten Hag's comments. Didn't want to let him go, but looks set to join Sunderland. Now, 2 England internationals, James, might be heading to Serie A and with Napoli. Who are they?
Yeah, Napoli are after a winger. They've been looking at Alejandro Garnacho in the past. These are 2 players that could be potentially on their way to Italy, but they're on the list, but not quite the priority players. Jack Grealish and Raheem Sterling, according to Sky in Italy, they're on the list of alternative wingers that Napoli are looking at in this transfer window. They're not the priority signings for them, but I think later on down the window, we could see moves for these 2 players, because they've clearly got very limited options at their current club. Raheem Sterling, before he joined Arsenal on loan, wasn't training with the Chelsea first team. Jack Grealish didn't even travel with the Manchester City squad for the Club World Cup £100 million signing a few years back. Both players face very uncertain futures at their clubs, but both players still got significant contracts and 2 years left on those deals as well. We understand that Fulham are keeping an eye on the situation around Raheem Sterling, but they're pressing ahead with deals for Reece Nelson and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. But I think because of the contracts in mind and the fees and the wages involved, I do think that if any deals materialise, it would be later on down the window, because you'd think there'd have to be a significant compromise from these 2 players when it comes to wages and the clubs in the form of Chelsea and Manchester City in terms of any sort of fee.
Sometimes we forget there's so long left still in the window as well. Right, so 1 player may well depart Manchester City in this window, but Manchester City set to sign a player that they used to have previously.
James Trafford. There's been a lot of interest in him this season, considering what he did last season in a Burnley shirt. 27 clean sheets. They barely conceded a goal over the course of 46 matches in the Championship. So hot property. Newcastle wanted him. They agreed a deal with Burnley to buy him, but because Manchester City inserted a clause in his contract with the buyback, it means they're going to pay £27 million to re-sign him. He's set to begin his medical today at Manchester City. So another blow for Newcastle. They were powerless with this, because they could have paid no matter what they wanted, but because of that clause in the contract, he's heading back to Manchester City, which sets up a really interesting situation. Ederson, he has been injury prone over the course of the last few seasons. Stefan Ortega stepped in on a number of occasions. He's expected to leave, Ortega, but no deal is close right now, so you could have 3 premium goalkeepers at City for pre-season. But what is going to be fascinating, who is going to be that City number 1 at the start of the new campaign? Will it be the youngster? Will it be the decorated Ederson, who's won so many trophies for Manchester City, but he's always been linked away over the course of the last few seasons? So that is going to be fascinating. James Trafford returning to Manchester City.
You're our fancy Premier League guru, so I'll be asking you that question on the eve of the start of the season, because City's number 1 might be something that fans might be looking at. Now,
Liverpool to complete history-making transfer today as star arrives from medical. Wise Diaz set for Bayern's switch as Liverpool prepare for further sales and Isaac pursuit. Wise Diaz is on the verge of completing his transfer to Bayern Munich. Having touched down in Germany earlier today, the Colombian forward is expected to finalize the move following his medical, with only minor formalities remaining before he officially becomes a Bayern player. Meanwhile, behind the scenes at Anfield, Liverpool are already bracing for further player exits as they reshape their squad ahead of a blockbuster signing. Diaz, 28, expressed a strong desire to embrace a new challenge abroad after what was arguably his finest campaign in a Liverpool shirt, contributing 25 goals and assists combined. While the Merseyside club did propose an extension with the promise of renewed contract talks set for later in the year if he stayed, the winger had already set his sights elsewhere. Bayern initially saw their €67.5 million bid knocked back, but a revised offer totaling €75 million, including €70 million guaranteed and €5 million in achievable bonuses, finally earned Liverpool's approval. The total equivalent to around £65 million makes Diaz the third most lucrative sale in Liverpool's history, trailing only Felipe Coutinho and Luis Suarez, both of whom joined Barcelona. Diaz is signing a 4-year deal with the German Giants, which includes a 5th-year club option. Footage of his arrival at Munich airport has already surfaced. The final steps of the transfer are expected to proceed without issue. Liverpool's summer. Clear-out continues, though Liverpool have been aggressive in the transfer market this summer. The marquee addition Swedish striker Alexander Isak's still on the horizon. Club officials are reportedly prepared to eclipse the British transfer fee record once again. Having already spent £116 million on Florian Wirtz earlier in the window, sources close to the situation say Isaac is only interested in a move to Liverpool, and that Jurgen Klopp's side is the sole contender for his signature. Negotiations with Newcastle United have been ongoing for 2 weeks. Despite some ground yet to cover, confidence remains high that a deal will be struck. Speaking to Daz, renowned journalist Fabrizio Romano estimated the chances of Isaac joining Liverpool at around 60%, while also clarifying that Newcastle are actively scouting replacements in anticipation of his departure. Isak's omission from Newcastle's pre-season tour of Asia has further fueled speculation, reinforcing the idea that his Anfield switch is imminent. Key departures expected to finance the deal to fund the high-profile move for Isaac can ensure. Depth is maintained following the exits of Diaz and Yarel Kwanzaa. Liverpool are planning additional sales. According to Romano, Federico Chiesa is also expected to leave the club despite Diaz's departure, driven by his desire for more regular playing time. A return to Italy remains his top priority. In another major development, striker Darwin Núñez is being lined up for a move to Saudi Arabia. Sources indicate the Uruguayan will become the latest high-profile player to make the lucrative switch to the Gulf region. Additionally, fielder Harvey Elliott has been made available for transfer. Classified as a homegrown player, any sale of Elliott would result in full profit on Liverpool's balance sheet. It's making it an appealing move from a financial standpoint. Tyler Morton and Ben Doak are also on the list of players the club is willing to part with, while the left-back position may see a shake-up following the arrival of Milos Kerkez. Either Andy Robertson or Kostas Tsimikas is likely to be moved on to streamline the squad. Konat's future in doubt amid defensive injuries. Adding to Liverpool's summer uncertainty is the potential exit of French centre-back Ibrahima Konat. According to journalist Lewis Steele, whom is closely following the Reds' preseason tour in Asia, Konat's contract is set to expire in a year, and discussions over his future have yet to yield clarity. Liverpool are currently short in defense, after Joe Gomez sustained an injury, heightening the need for reinforcements in that area. It's really a coin toss, about 50-50 whether Konat stays or moves on, Steele remarked, emphasizing the importance of the defender's presence in a squad already stretched thin at the back.